Easter may be known for the baskets full of gifts, the chocolate bunnies, and the dyed eggs.
But there's another reason to celebrate the day, and here to explain is Bishop Dolan from the Roman Catholic Diocese of Phoenix. We're very happy to have you here.
Thanks,
How are you,
Dan.
Bishop?
Thanks, Lexi. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for being here. So, like we were saying in our little intro, you know, a lot of people are celebrating this weekend, this whole week leading up to this weekend, but it's really about what's happening this weekend for those of us who do celebrate. This is really special in the church. Tell us a little bit about kind of the history of Easter in the church.
Well, within the church, it obviously ends and begins with Christ, with Jesus. So he suffers, he dies. On the third day, he rises from the dead. And it's a celebration of new life in the most dramatic way, where he rose from the dead, not just spiritually, but physically, and showed his hands and his side and ate with the disciples and all of that. So it's beyond our imagination.
Yeah.
It's kind of blows us away.
Mysterious and mystical,
Correct.
and that's what's so cool and beautiful
Yeah.
about it for you know, people who are members of the church and who are believers. And this comes at the end of the Lenten season, which is much more of a somber waiting season.
Yeah, so the 40 days of Lent kind of symbolize what happened when Jesus went into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights and discerned his own mission that he was going to embrace after that. And in essence, that's what we do. We're trying to go through those 40 days, 40 nights of our own penance, if you will, examining our conscience, and then saying, how are we honestly focusing on our God, and let's get back on track if we're not.
Yeah.
A lot of people think Easter weekend starts Friday with Good Friday, but actually today is a very important day.
Yeah.
That's right. Holy Thursday, it's a time where we focus on a number of things. It's the Last Supper of Jesus, and another piece of that is the washing of the feet, which is highly symbolic. It's kind of a mandate for us to go out and be charitable in all ways. And Jesus, who is God, from our perspective, humbled himself to wash the feet of the apostles.
Yeah. And that's what's actually happening today, starting at noon until 3, which I didn't know actually it took place here. I just know I've heard about it, but that's happening today.
Yeah, that's a unique thing at the Basilica downtown. They're actually having a washing of the feet, and anyone who happens to be coming by, including many of those who are on the streets, will have an opportunity just to be cared for. And that symbolic washing of the feet is going to take place. Yeah.
And that's really beautiful. What a great way to, you know, be Jesus to the people. You know, that's really, really cool. And there's so many other incredible masses going on this weekend, because it's not just today, not even just tomorrow, Saturday as well.
That's right. So technically what we have is within our church, our tradition is it starts on Holy Thursday, goes through Good Friday, because we don't have a Mass on Good Friday, but we do have the service. We have a service, and then it concludes with Saturday evening with the Easter Vigil, and then ultimately with the celebration of Easter. And then that's a 50-day celebration too. So Easter is 50 days.
It's not just the one day.
It's the one day.
Bishop, you said something that's very important, and that's a service. Explain a little bit between, but a service and a Mass is, because I think that people don't understand that a little bit.
Right. So the Mass itself includes the Eucharistic celebration, so the breaking of the bread. In the case of the service, that is really focusing on kind of the passion of Christ, his death. And so we read from the Gospel of John, specifically his passion, his death, and his placement in the tomb. And then we get to the next day, which is Holy Saturday morning, and we focus on Jesus, who descended to the dead, right? And then kind of woke up the dead, in essence. So reaches out to Adam and Eve. There's a great homily, an ancient homily focusing on that, the beauty of Christ is reaching down into the dead and kind of grabbing the hands of Adam and Eve and all of that. It's a beautiful story. Yeah.
And this is a very, very special weekend, obviously. You know, it's Easter weekend, and you and I were just joking before we started that it's kind of the Super Bowl for the church, truly.
Right. Yes. Well, particularly, you know, I'm a bishop, and so I don't have the same experience as the priests. I used to, but once I became a bishop, I lived more in the world of governance. So, But the priests in their parishes, they're really rolling up their sleeves. They're really busy. Yeah, it's their Super Bowl.
And the big part is, Bishop, you want to get the word out, is that everyone's welcome, Catholic or non-Catholics.
That's
Because
correct.
there's people that want to come to see what it is about because they've never experienced it. So you're opening the doors and saying, yes, please come.
Yes, indeed. And of course, this is celebrated in all denominations within the Christian enterprise, this particular period. The Eastern Orthodox celebrate it at a different time, but within the Western Church, if you will, Lutherans and Catholics and Methodists and so on, we all tend to celebrate it on this weekend.
Yeah. Well, it's a great weekend to go out to come to church. Any one of the churches that you just mentioned will be celebrating because it's a big, big deal.
It's a big crowd.
Absolutely, and we definitely encourage you to get out and celebrate. But if you can't, here at the CW7, we are proud to partner locally with the Phoenix Diocese to bring you live special coverage of Good Friday service, which will be this Friday at 3 p.m., and also that Easter service we were talking about, Easter Mass, this Sunday at 9 a.m. It's all taking place from St. Simon and Jude Cathedral in Phoenix.
Yes, so that's great. Bishop, thanks for joining us this
It's
morning.
my
so much for
pleasure.
So I know you're
Thank
very
you
busy.
too.
So.
Yeah.